Really no two ways around it. If you want to get great at calisthenics, you're going to have to get great at the foundational movements. And I prefer to say foundational as opposed to basic, because basic makes it seem like they're simple and simplistic. And the reality is they are simple, but they do form the bedrock for all of your greater and grander ambitions in the wide world of kettlebell and calisthenics training. In fact, even barbell training is often very, very well supported by a good degree of calisthenics greatness. Ted Arcidi, who was one of the first men to bench press 700 pounds, said that it was all of the push-ups and the dips that he did while he was playing hockey that laid the foundation for him to be able to do the 700-pound bench later on when he started to really focus on it very strongly. Similarly, Manohar Aik, the first Indian Mr. Universe in 1953, spent a good portion of his early years doing high-rep calisthenics exercises, and when he was in his very late 30s, he was able to work his way up to a 600-pound back squat. Much of that came from the foundation that he laid down with the basic calisthenics movements that you are avoiding and for some reason just don't think are worth your time. So I want to encourage you to first and foremost get good at those basics and then start focusing on the advanced basics. Advanced basics would be things like what you see me doing here, feet elevated push-ups, and particularly through a full range of motion. So that may also necessitate elevating your hands just a little bit. Things like this help to increase the amount of resistance that you feel, but also allow you to still train in a low-tech fashion. And the exact same thing applies not just for push-ups, but also for things like bodyweight rows. Bodyweight rows, as you'll see momentarily, are going to be the reverse of the push-up in terms of what you're going to be doing in the plane of motion, but what you can do to make them more challenging is elevate the feet. So similar to the bodyweight push-ups, you simply elevate the feet for bodyweight rows, and now you're pulling at a much more challenging angle. Very often, people want to simply skip the step and jump straight to pull-ups. You can get to those eventually. Those are definitely going to be useful, but I have yet to meet anybody who can do a ton of bodyweight rows, and particularly at a pretty difficult angle, who cannot also do pull-ups or in a very short amount of time do quite a few of them. I would also say that for things like lunges, you can make these more challenging by doing the full range of motion variety, as you can see me practicing them here. These, as you might imagine, lay the necessary bedrock for pistol squats much later on. They also start to give you the sense of balancing on just one leg, even though you're still using your opposite leg to assist a bit. Now, eventually you get to dips, and this is the sort of a thing that people want to kind of jump to right after they've done their first few push-ups. Dips are similar to push-ups, but the push is in a slightly different direction, and push-ups will do a lot more to prepare you for dips than you might think. You're still going to need to work on your shoulder mobility, however. Likewise, with your pull-ups, you're going to need to make sure that you can actually get your hands overhead so that you can completely flex your shoulders overhead. But eventually, you'll get all of these. You'll be able to do dips. You'll be able to do pull-ups. And likewise, with the lower body, you will be ready and raring to go for the ultimate in lower body calisthenics strength, which is, of course, none other than the pistol squat. And as you'll see, as I demonstrate momentarily with the pistol squat, there are a few other things that need to be considered. And one of them is going to be the mobility in the ankle, knee, and hip. The other is going to be the active flexibility in the non-working leg, as well as the ability to push your foot out in front of you with enough flexibility in the hip and the glute, as well as the hamstring, to be able to do the full movement. If you do not do this in advance and you do not do this while you're working on your foundational movements, you're going to find that by the time you get to the pistol or the pull-up or the dip, even if you have the strength, it is these little things that you could have worked on with the more foundational drills that are going to hold you back. So don't waste your time. Get really good at the foundational stuff. Time will go on anyway. So you might as well be stronger when you get there. And the best way to do that is to honor those movements that lay the path that lays ahead of you. Give this a shot. Let me know how you like it. And as always, have fun and happy training.